welcome back to Expert Consultant with your host, Chris DickeRson. And here today we are joined by the wonderful Coco,
So,
Black and White. So I just wanted to make an episode, a relatively short episode, about the state of play that just happened a little under an hour ago. Um, I'm gonna kind of just go through all the announcements, but I'm gonna turn it into a Final Fantasy show, kind of in the same way that State of Play turned into a Final Fantasy VII remake show by the end of it. I just wanna have a quick, like, fun discussion because there's a lot to talk about, but also nothing really to talk about, and that's video games for you. So, we're gonna go bottom up. All right, we're gonna kind of go through the list of importance and also kind of announcements. So we got a new look at Deathloop, which is Arcane's new game. No release date. I'm pretty sure we had a release date before this, but now we don't.
uh,
So
DickeRson,
yes,
is that a black main character?
that is. I thought about bringing him up with the Black History Month episode, but it's not out yet. You know, it's kind of like, I don't know, it feels kind of cheap to just be like, hey, that game that's coming out sometime soon, that's a Black History. Hey, you should also look at I believe the main character. There's another main character, a black girl.
That's what up.
So, hey, that's real representation. I want you to check out her hair to see if they got it right. But Deathloop is Arcane's newest game, made by the people who made Dishonored. But I like their games a lot, actually. Dishonored, I'm a little like, I get why people love it. I loved Prey. That's just, it was my kind of game. Those kind of Sims, I guess, are just, oh, I die for them. I'm not too hot on Deathloop. It kind of, to me, it visually looks very underwhelming, but I know that's not the most important thing, like far from the most important things with games for me too, especially. But it just doesn't look appealing to me. Sure, it's got really cool powers, but I don't know. I haven't seen something to really grab my attention yet. So that's Deathloop. Moving on.
If it
Um,
helps at all, her hair is pretty solid.
oh, it is? Okay, good. I got the black approval. But then the next up is Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. The reason I'm not just immediately skipping this one is because even though it's a Five Nights at Freddy's game, and honestly, what a series to go on about. It's interesting because they're calling it the most ambitious yet, and hey, I'm always like, let me see. I'm always open to ideas and go crazy. You know, Five Nights at Freddy's is a game that has more money behind it than it ever should now. So like, what are you gonna do? Let me see. Like, go weird. It doesn't have to be a good game, you know. I just want to see how it turns out. It looks something like it looks okay, you know. I really, I haven't. I've only played Five Nights at Freddy's 3. That's when that series got like huge, and I have not touched Five Nights since. I used to be into the game theory videos, but quickly got out of them. um, so Coco, what's your feeling of Five Nights at Freddy's? I never asked you about that.
Um, it was fun to watch people play it when it first came out. Not really any interest in it. I mean, honestly, if a bunch of mechanicals attacked me, I would just fight them. I think there's a whole Nicolas Cage movie about what I would do.
Yeah.
But
Like,
I mean, I'm Deathloop. I'm honestly so far is the one that's got my attention. I could care less about Five Nights.
yeah, I think you would like Deathloop actually. I think that would be strike your attention. Never thought about that. Um, but yeah, I'm interested to see where Five Night goes. Moving on. Um,
Oh, this one looks pretty.
Solar Ash.
Yeah.
Yeah, Solar Ash is the by the Hyperlight Drifter team. I love the Hyperlight Drifter. Well, just the game. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's just like fast-paced 2D combat, which is just, oh, feels so good to me. This is like fast-paced 3D combat, and I'm so excited because the art direction in Hyperlight Drifter is incredible. So being able to see like their art direction go 3D with Solar Ash, jaw dropping. Um, so I'm super excited for it. We really don't have too much on it. We haven't seen aside from this trailer. This is basically it. Um, but hey, oh man, I can't wait for it. I'm super excited. Uh, I love. Yeah, I just love to see what they can do. I love indies who like have a real cool art direction. The team is clearly inspired by Evangelion. They were very much with Hyper Light Drifter. I just love the style that they got going on. So I will be very much looking forward to that as we learn more about it.
It gives me El Shaddai vibes.
Yeah, sure, man. Yeah, I'll take it. Go with the El Shaddai references. Please bring them up. um, the next one, Brandon, you might be into. Um, so the Absolve developer, Slow Clap, they made Absolver, which is incredible. I love. It's a multiplayer. It's like a heavily Dark Souls inspired PvP melee combat game, and that's a lot in one sentence, but I loved it. It's super fun. You take the Dark Souls like online style and you just put this like very kind of methodical melee combat and it turns into this weird mesh that's just a lot of fun. It was a very hard game to master, extremely hard. You could spend years playing it and still not fully grasp its systems. And I think that was a little bit to its downfall. Um, the thing was, it's like, why would you Absolver ended in like, I don't know, 6 hours, and they made some DLC that like added like maybe to 10. So like you had this 10-hour game with this amazing combat system. It just like it felt underwhelming by the end. You would just finish it and be like, I guess that's it, like it would I guess repetitive. You can play bosses over again, but how much fun is that really? Uh, this new game, Sifu, I'm probably pronouncing that incorrectly, um, is like taking that combat system of Absolver, taking it up to 11, and making like the single player action game. And Bren, take a look. You should take a look at like the trailer or the gifs sometime. It's incredible. Like it just looks so awesome. You'll punch a guy against a wall and then you'll like take a knife and throw it at him in the distance and it just looks so fluid and gorgeous. And I want this type of game always, and now I got it from the team that I want it from the most.
Just looking at the screenshots, I'm heavily into this.
Yes, it's very cool. So yeah, and they have little gameplay thing called each time the player dies, they are revived a little older with more skill. That was actually done by
Ooh, I like that.
yeah, that's another team did that idea with oh gosh, the Remnant from the Ashes spin-off game. I know it came first. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, I know the game did that where you like died and every time you died you got like a little like you lost melee and you learned magic. That was really cool. Moving on next, a game called Knockout City. It is a multiplayer dodgeball game.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'll check it out. Like, I'm multiplayer dodgeball. No idea what you're gonna do with that.
Say, I
I'll
don't know where they're gonna go, but I like it.
Yeah, it's one to keep an eye on. That's what I'll say.
I
Um,
feel like it's gonna be Lucio Ball, but
oh my god.
like without Lucio.
Yeah, where you're just like you're trying to run away. I like that. I know dodgeball's fun in real life, so why not put it in a video game with sci-fi and craziness? Moving on.
Now we're on more of my kind of stuff.
Yeah, this is a move on for me. I did not like Crash 4. I really did not. It's just not my. I don't know. It's just really not my thing. Um,
I did not play Crash. I haven't played Crash 4 yet.
you should try it out. I'm curious. A lot of
Is
people
it
did like it. Just I don't
how
know.
different is it from the OG?
Not
Because
really.
that's
They definitely they took it in that path.
oh, then I'm sure I'll love it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just for some reason
Are you
old.
not a Crash guy?
I was when I was little. I think now it's too restrictive for me.
But so yeah, it's a very basic game.
I like. I mean, my 3D platformers. I love exploration. Crash is kind of like against that. So I mean, with no problem. Hey, for
That's fair.
people who love it, go for it, man. I wish I could. Uh,
I mean, granted, as an adult, I don't think I've ever played it not drunk, but
I think you would like 4, but Next is a little one. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the series at all, Brandon, but
With
Oddworld.
Oddworld,
Yes.
are people not familiar with Oddworld?
Okay, I always just feel like it's pretty niche. I am very excited for Soulstorm. I could not make it through the original Oddworld, but man, do I love the themes and like style it has going on. So Soulstorm, I'm excited for, and hey, it'll be free on PS Plus. So
So I don't know. Oddworld was always one of those games that was like, I don't know anything about it, but it was one of those games that you just had
yeah,
because like your uncles or your older siblings had it. I played two different Oddworld games. I played the one we watched a replay of years ago, and
there
then I
was a
played one that was a shooter.
oh yeah, Stranger's Wrath. I played a little bit
Yeah.
of that one.
So I played that one, then I played the one we watched the replay of like 10 years ago when we were bebis.
Yeah, there was there I played a little bit of the original, just Abe's Odyssey, and then there was
That's
Munch's
it. Yeah,
Odyssey.
Abe's Odyssey.
Yeah, I remember those games. You could burp in Munch's Odyssey. You could just it was a burp button, and I remember like just little me. I was like what 6 at the time, and I was just like, oh my gosh, so
It's just
fun.
crazy seeing like how far they've come with graphics and everything from like Abe's Odyssey to this.
Yeah, visually it looks incredible. Like oh yeah, I'm just excited. I don't know. Those games are hard to get like the true ending of, and I'm always upset about that. But hey, I'll try it out. It's free, for Plus members. Well, what's to lose? Uh, Next up is a new gameplay trailer of Returnal, which is this Lovecraftian like action roguelike game, which I am so down for. It's not real. There's so much about this game out right now. They've released so many trailers. I'm very much into it. Visually, it's incredible. And hey, anytime you got like a Lovecraftian style, I will gladly take it because we need more of that in video games. Um, yeah, sci-fi, Lovecraft, roguelike.
Yeah, sci-fi and Lovecraft is a good mix I can vibe with.
Oh yeah. So hey, check out Returnal out. We got April 30th. And then hey, Kena Bridge of Spirits. I think you might like this game, Brandon. Everyone always loves just saying this game looks like Pixar. This game has a Pixar art style. This game has a
I
Pixar.
won't go and say it, but it looks like that Rava movie that's coming out for Disney. Rava and the Last
Yeah, oh
Dragon.
yeah, yeah. That's a Pixar movie, isn't it?
I believe so. It's either Pixar or just normal Disney. Either way, it looks like it.
Yeah, it's like so everyone always says that, and I think this game is the first game I've ever seen to actually do that. Like actually kind of get close enough to like a Disney like 3D animated movie.
Just
It
like
looks
adult
gorgeous.
tack.
Adult tag, is that what you said?
It's like a tack game for adults.
Oh my gosh. Attacking the Tower of Juju. Oh my goodness.
God, I'm remembering all the games today.
Yeah, I know. All these
It
callbacks.
looks beautiful.
It is gorgeous. I love the way it looks. And hey, it's out August 24th, my birthday. So something to look forward to if we're still
I vibe
alive
with
by
it.
then.
I like that one.
Yeah, so something to keep an eye on. Um, so now you've reached the Final Fantasy VII part of the episode. And this is where the episode turns into a Final Fantasy episode. So thank you for joining me with the State of Play overlook. And now we move on to the Final Fantasy episode.
Do we need a spoiler warning?
No. Here we go. So Final Fantasy VII Remake has turned into a media platform now. It is no longer a video game. It is now the Square, and out of this State of Play announcement, they announced two extra things. We have a Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale phone game coming out.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very odd. It looks weird, but I'm here for weird, but I'm also just like, what the
So,
fuck?
a Final Fantasy phone game was announced the same day that the Kingdom Hearts phone game was canceled.
Yeah. That's a really interesting thing to talk about. I was thinking about that on the drive home. Like, Union Cross is gone now. They've It's canceling, but
Not that it
now
was
7
going
Remake is.
anywhere.
Huh?
Said not that it was going anywhere.
Brandon, people will fight you to the death on that. It was
Yeah, fucking bring it on. They
it
don't know
was
any more
no
than I do.
it was going like crazy places at the end. I don't know where it was going, but people were definitely reacting like it was doing something.
I don't think they know anything more unless they can tell me what's in the box. They don't know anything more than I do.
But yes, I think it's an interesting thing that they cancel one, but they cancel two and then bring two up. So the
That's right, because
seven,
Dark Road is gone too. Oh,
yeah,
it's
no one really
leaving.
played Dark Road. But seven remake and the battle royale game. So we had the battle royale game and then a compilation phone game, which is really interesting. It's like all the Final Fantasy VII games, like in compilation scenes that you can play, and like, but it's like remade as like a Bravely Default style type of game.
That seems something for someone like me who doesn't particularly have the energy to play through a Final
It,
Fantasy game.
it's very interesting and weird. Like I wish it was on Switch because it looks all right. And like man, their Dirge of Cerberus is included in there. And yeah, I'll play a chibi Dirge of Cerberus. Give me that. I don't know what it's gonna be, but give me it. Um, just craziness. But onto the meat of the announcement. So Final Fantasy VII Remake is getting remastered for PlayStation 5. Now, we all probably expected that. We were waiting for it. We needed, I mean, did you see those textures on 7 Remake? Yeah, we needed a PS5 version. The game looked gorgeous, but also muddy at the same time. And looks like PS5 is going to do it. The trailer looks great. We know we got a new uh, sorry, we got new textures, new overhaul graphic improvements, two modes of 60 frames per second, a graphics 4K mode, um, and yeah, looks exciting. But the big thing, Brandon, is that we got a Yuffie episode, a side episode where you just play, you like see Yuffie's backstory.
Oh,
Yeah, it's so interesting and weird. It's like Final Fantasy VII isn't this game anymore. It's no longer like, hey, we're waiting for part two. Now we're waiting for side episodes. We're waiting for re-releases. We're waiting for this like weird conglomerate of stuff. And of course, I'll be there day one to play with like the Yuffie episode. I'm so dying to know, but it's Square is like starting to overexpand themselves again. And this now leads me into the concern. So the reason I think Final Fantasy 15 didn't succeed as much as they were hoping, and kind of how the second half of DLC was canceled, is because 15 overextended itself way too much. They like 15's entire story was broken up to serve DLC, to serve a movie, to serve books, to serve like an anime. It was all like mixed together, and it didn't come together well at all. It, in a way, like I don't think that's the reason because people weren't really looking out for that stuff. But it hurt the experience of the game because by the time you finish Final Fantasy 15, you really don't understand what the hell is going on. They explained it all to you in about 2 minutes, but like it's rushed and bad, and that's what I'm worried. Like Seven Remake is turning to this media platform. They just announced a freaking battle royale phone game, a side spin-off episode, and a compilation video game. It's like this is part one. What's part two gonna look like? It has me worried because I see Square kind of making these same mistakes that they did with 15, and I was just hoping we learned from it. And I say I hope 16 is just a video game. I don't want, like, sure, you can have DLC. I don't want a movie. I don't want a book. I don't want an anime. I just want a video game that I can play, I can finish, and I can replay, knowing that that's it. Like there's nothing else. And I don't think that's too much to ask for from the games industry now. Uh, but that's why I'm worried. I will be there. I know I'm going to love the hell out of Yuffie's episode. I'm going to obsess over it, and it's going to be fantastic. But I'm also going to be a little cautious from now on. So, like I said, hey, Final Fantasy VII Remake was my game of the year last year. I did not expect it to be my game of the year last year. I was a little concerned. And then they Square wiped all those concerns away from me. I was like, hey, no, they got this. I have faith. Nomura has this. And then they brought it back, the concerns. So I guess what I learned here is that Square is always going to be the exact same Square and never change. But hey, I'll be there day one to buy every single one of their games and love them. So they're doing something right. As much as we all complain about how they always do something right. But whew, that's going to do it for today, Brandon. Thank you for joining me on this wild ride of State of Play and Final Fantasy.
Always love listening to you go on about video games I don't know anything about.
This is fresh. This is a raw take, and I just had to get it out there. It's fun. It's fun to talk about video games. It's fun to talk about State of Plays. I don't think they'll.
I was gonna say with PS5 release of Final Fantasy VII, I might finally actually be able to play it.
Yes, please do. This is the perfect time.
I'm hoping. The last time I played through a Final Fantasy game was 10.
Yeah, I think you'll love 7 Remake. It's really good. It's really fucking good. But y'all, thanks for joining me. Until next time, and we'll talk about games and maybe Bravely Default 2.
Lord.
See you later.